This is not what I'm not working on this. This is in a drawer. I don't talk about this drawer. And a lot of what you said really resonated. So I was able to, because of the medicine, removing shame, blame, and guilt, I was able to look at this situation and not forgive or not condone, but look at me like, okay, this person was deeply unloved or felt deeply unloved. She had her own substance use challenges. She was rejected from her father. She was not as smart as her brother. She's having all sorts of issues, and she just wanted to be loved. And I could, again, not condoning, but not look at her as a perpetrator at that moment, but as a human who was suffering, who just made a bad decision or bad decisions. And from that moment, now I can talk about it and not feel like, oh, I'm mortified that I did something wrong and that I'm a bad person for having this experience. And I think somehow and weirdly, I'm able now to talk about this and maybe talk to other people who had experiences that were like that or much more challenging, and have some ability to relate to what they're talking about. We all have this opportunity. We have this physical space that we occupy, and it's all an opportunity. And suffering. Well, the person I work with is, again, talking about these integrators. This person I work with always reminds me that suffering is optional. So we're going to have the same breath. How do we think about this breath? How do we think about this next moment? And we can choose to suffer, or we can choose not to suffer. That all being said, it's really hard, Candace. And sometimes, and part of what I talk about these medicines, there's a lot of different ways you can come to that conclusion. But for some people, having this type of medicine just helps them because we get into repetitive thought. We get into, this is the way I think, this is the way it is, the sky is gray, this is this, and it's over, and it's over, and it's over. It's that narrator. And some of these medicines can disrupt that pattern and remind us of how we were when all of our neurons were firing when we were tiny. And then it's like, okay, I don't have to think this way. I can see a different path. And now let me try that for tomorrow, or let me try that for the rest of today. And that's really powerful. I mean, that's kind of one of the best things about this medicine is that chance to get that reset button, turn off the programming for 6 hours, remind yourself of who you are, and then see what you want to do next.
So people that don't have any effect, and let's say they do a substantial dose, let's say it's like 5 and they're a very small person, maybe size doesn't matter, but like let's say it's a big dose for your person and there's no effect whatsoever. Have you encountered that? And is there like a general observation as to why that happens and how to maybe have a more successful journey the next time?
Yeah, I mean, so certainly not having an effect today doesn't mean tomorrow, the exact same amount of medicine, you're not going to have an effect. But there are things that you can do to help have more of an effect. So things like, they talk about giving yourself into the medicine. You're going to surrender to the medicine. Well, for someone like me, I'm such a, like I've been such a control, like I'm going to do this and then I'm going to do that and then this is going to happen. And it's hard to release control. So having kind of breathing techniques, having a ceremony where it's going to be, okay, let's get into this space. Let's be present here. Let's breathe into here. Let's be mindful of this moment. Let's remind me why we're here. Then let's take this as a sacrament and let's continue to breathe, continue to relax, and trying to get in that level of relaxation before and in the beginning stages lead to an hour later as the medicine comes on, I think a deeper experience. I think music choices can also go a long way. I love at retreat or ceremony having live musicians. I think there's an energy that comes out of that. You can sometimes feel the energy of a guitar string or feel the resonance of the drum, or even sometimes you can like get into somebody's, like you almost can climb into their mouth and feel their vocal cords shaking, and it's just kind of incredible with music. So for me, music is something that helps a lot. And then I think just, over and over, relax. It's going to be okay. Breathe, surrender. But that's also why you can't be talked into, or you shouldn't be talked into doing psychedelics. This has to be a personal choice. I want to do this because I want to do this. I'm here to surrender. And with that and that instruction, you can be taken pretty far.